Welcome to a brand new series. This is MiniBeasts in the East. This series we will see 150-gram fighting robots in our arena, pocket-sized perils ready to do battle. Let's check out who's in Heat A. We have Immersion Remix, the front hinge flipper, Alpha the flipper, Snowgoose the vertical spinner, Vector the eggbeater, and Megalodon the vertical spinner, all doing battle. Plenty of weaponry, lots of high kinetic energy spinners, and a couple of flippers who are looking to do the job. Here's how our competition works. 5 robots in this heat. Each round, 1 robot will sit out, while the other 4 do battle head to head for points on the board. Once complete, the pentagram will show us who has won. It's 5 for a KO win, 4 for a JD win, 2 for a JD loss, and 1 for a KO loss. And there are our 5 robots for tonight, all sat on our leaderboard. We will be checking in on this as the competition progresses. Only 2 can go through to the final. Our first battle tonight sees Immersion Remix Michael Clement's Stealth Flipper. It has a low centre of gravity, but it is relatively new. They are worried that that might be a weakness. The opponent, Vector Shamal Watson's Eggbeater, very durable, so the team say, but their manoeuvrability leaves a lot to be desired. Let's see if that comes into play in the arena.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Up to speed is Vector. Immersion coming in though and flipping Vector across the arena, bouncing around crazily, and now up against the wall. All they need to do really is take advantage, but flipped over is Immersion. Now getting away, still upside down is Vector, crossing the arena. He's gone up and he's down in the pit. It's all over. The winner, Immersion Remix. Well, here are the highlights. Immersion got straight under Vector, who went spiraling around the arena. Manoeuvrability, not the issue. Control, I think, is what is up with Vector there. They managed to get Immersion flipped over, but then crosses the arena fully, flies up into the air after hitting the sidewall, landing directly in the pit. That's it for them. Our second battle today sees Alpha, Madison Reed's flipper robot. It's very quick to self-right, but it does get damaged a lot. Will that be the case against the vertical spinner of Megalodon? This robot hits like a truck, or so says the team. Their weakness is listed as judgeszone.com. That's got to be a reference, right?
3, 2, 1. That's fine.
Tentative start there. Away goes Alpha, straight out into the middle. Megalodon getting up to speed. Alpha underneath and it's over! Or is it? Can Megalodon get out from this corner? It's making one hell of a din. Can they manage to gyro their way out from the sidewall? They're trying. Look, the RA2 physics coming into play. Can they get it done? Or is it all over? A count out has started. Alpha looks on. I think it's going to be all done here for Megalodon. They are teetering, they are turning, they look stuck. That could well be it for them. Alpha seem to be the winners here. They get the points. What Alpha clinical there. They got it done in 1 flip only, straight under Megalodon, who bounces off of the sidewall, catches a bad bounce, ends up out of the arena, slotted in like a slice of toast. Points on the leaderboard. Of course, Snowgoose had this round out. They have a game in hand. They sit at the bottom on 0. Vector and Megalodon in joint third on 1 apiece. Alpha and Immersion Remix, they top the leaderboard on 5 apiece, both with knockout wins. Our final robot to introduce tonight, Snowgoose, Sean Williamson's vertical spinner. Its aura is off the charts, but it cannot swim. That could be a concern as they face off against Immersion Remix. I don't know why it would be. There's no water in our arena. They did well in their first fight. They're looking to go 2 for 2. Perfect on the leaderboard.
Okay. Are you ready? Yeah, I'm ready. Cool then. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Quick start there from Immersion, who is now currently getting beaten up. Little chunks of plastic go flying. Snowgoose's vertical spinner, big, but a big flip there into the sidewall. They managed to stay on their little walking legs. Pushed across the arena. What on earth happened there? The spinner has gone. A tap out has happened. Immersion is going to get the knockout points. Good grief. What's happened to Snow Goose? Well, it started off so well for Snow Goose. They were taking chunks, then Immersion gets under, whammo into the wall. And then, look at this, out of nowhere, something must have flexed. The spinner comes clean out, taking with it half the bulkhead. Snow Goose, lots to repair. Our next battle sees Megalodon return to the arena after their swift exit at the hands of Alpha. They are taking on another robot who took a swift exit in Vector. The eggbeater took itself out into the pit earlier on. Let's see if they can rectify. Both looking for a bit of redemption here.
Vector, are you ready? Yup. Megalodon, are you ready? Right. 3, 2, 1, activate.
All-out spinner battlers both get up to speed and come together in the middle of the arena. Megalodon get the better of that exchange, and that one as well. A double hit there for Vector, who goes flying across the arena but gets revenge very swiftly. Megalodon on their back. They are back on their wheels now, trying to get face on by the looks of things. Vector doing well to maneuver around. Megalodon seems to be struggling a little bit. Now grinding away at one of those side pods. Something came off there, not sure what it was. Big hit there. Both robots sent flying backwards, but both still driving at each other. These two little thumpers taking quite the beating. Another clear panel comes off there. It looks like a piece of acetate from the front wedge of Megalodon. Still trying to jock for position. Both of these two both go flying once again. And again there, Vector sent backwards, riding up the front wedges of a Megalodon. No real ground game on Vector, who is now upside down and pushed towards the sidewall. He is out of the arena. Megalodon will get the knockout win here. A great back and forth this fight. Megalodon getting the better exchanges early doors. Vector came back with a reply though, but then it seemed to be just utter brutality from both of these robots. They both really wanted the win. Vector just losing out on geometry more often than not. Megalodon managed to push them towards the sidewall, and once again the beater goes out. Here's the leaderboard presently. Immersion Remix tops it with 10, perfect so far. Megalodon in second on 6. Alpha, who just took that round out, is still on 5. Vector on 2, and Snow Goose, with only one battle done, is on 1. Our next fight is a top-of-the-table clash between Immersion Remix and Megalodon, the two blue TPU twins. Immersion Remix, the front hinge flipper, Megalodon, the vertical spinner, both coming off of big wins. They are wanting to get one more. Immersion Remix is on track to go perfect so far.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Quick start there from Immersion Remix. Megalodon without a real chance to spin up there, and Immersion straight under Megalodon's front wedges. We saw in the last battle that the acetate got removed by Vector. I don't know if they've managed to replace it. They're out! No, they're not! They're back in! Megalodon just broke gravity and decided, nah, I'm still going to fight here. Noping out of the corner and being pushed around still, though. Face on just isn't working out for them at this point. They need to find their way round to the side. They might not, though. A driving error sees Immersion down the pit. Megalodon following him down, but second to hit the floor. They are going to get the win. Well, that was all Immersion until it wasn't. They were getting underneath Megalodon every time, managed to flip them a couple of times as well into the sidewall, once over that sidewall, and it seemed out of the arena, but somehow, someway, Megalodon forced its way back into the battle. I think that's what they were trying to do in their first fight against Alpha. Managing it here, though, that was an impressive move. This less so from Immersion, a driving error. Great driving from Megalodon. Alpha returns from their round off. Madison's flipper very quick to get Megalodon out of the arena in that last battle. They had to, as they are worried about the damage accruing. They're going to need to do the same against Snow Goose. Big spinner after big spinner. It's a tough lineup for Paul Madison.
Alpha, ready. Ready. Okay, 3, 2, 1, begin.
Up to speed is Snow Goose, shuffling his way across the arena. Alpha don't quite know how to attack this, and little chunks taken out. They have found a way in though. Those two pontoons that stabilise, that's not going to help them. Well, I said that they'd found a way in, and then all of a sudden they go straight into the spinner of Snow Goose. And the damage is piling up on Alpha now. The flipper hanging off by a single screw no longer. There it goes, but in a bad place is Snow Goose, and they're pushed into the pit. What a reverse from Alpha. They get the win, and Snow Goose, they're still low on points. Here are the highlights. It was a great start from Alpha. They managed to find their way over to the sides and then straight face on, mistiming the flip. Cost them their flipper arm. That went flying. But luckily, their driving stayed on point and they managed to push Snow Goose down and out.
Yeah, it's about 2 o'clock, yeah. About 2 o'clock. Oh.
Cleanup completed, and let's take a look at the leaderboard. It's interesting. Immersion Remix and Megalodon now tied at the top on 11 points apiece. Alpha on 10, still in third. Vector, who took that round out, on 2, now tied with Snow Goose. Megalodon have a chance to top the table fully this round as they face off against Snow Goose. The vertical spinners clash. I've been looking forward to this one. I'm sure all of you have as well. Snow Goose, the big vert, collapsed in their first fight. The spinner ejected. Megalodon so far has found themselves out of the arena twice, managing to claw their way back in once.
Yeah, I'm good. Okay, 3, 2, 1, begin.
Up to speed, the two vertical spinners looking for a way in. They've gone weapon to weapon, and that has ended very badly for both robots. Everything is everywhere, and I'm not quite sure who's won it. I think we'll be going to the judges. Let's see this from Megalodon's perspective. Up to the roof, back down, no wheels left on their robot. Meanwhile, Snow Goose goes spiralling and the battery hanging out of them. This was an immense hit. You can see there in the pits, it looks to be a battery.
Sean, where's my battery?
There's a wheel.
I think that's switched off.
There's one in the pit.
Oh yeah, that's my battery.
The winner of the fight, earning 4 points, is Snow Goose. Our next battle sees a Vector return to the arena after having a round out to think about what they've done. Flying out of the arena twice is what they've done, and they may well do it again against the flipper of Alpha, who managed it against Megalodon before pushing Snow Goose down the pit in their second battle. They've faced a hefty repair job though.
Right, okay, 3, 2, 1, begin.
Up to speed is Vector, getting across the box and getting just underneath Alpha there. Little pop into the flipper. Everything repaired now on that robot. They managed to get underneath Vector, who teeters and has fallen once again out of the arena. Alpha the winner. Vector cannot catch a break today. They started this battle so well, but then rode up the flipper of Alpha not once, but twice. The second time, bouncing across the arena, hitting the sidewall once again like we saw earlier on, and down they went. Here's the leaderboard after a very quick round of fights. Alpha tops it on 15 now, Megalodon on 13. Immersion, who took the round out, on 11, they're in third. Snow Goose on 6, Vector on just 3 points. That could all change though, as Snow Goose is back in the box now. After a second big repair, they are up against Vector, who is looking for a win any way they can, preferably by not flying out of the arena. That seems to have been the party trick today. Can they break the habit? Both spinners getting up to speed. Vector quicker across the box. The little legs of Snow Goose struggling there, and they have been put on their back. And that seems to be it. Well, one hit and done. If we were looking to save time, that's the way to do it. Well, after that disappointingly quick fight, Alpha returns to the arena to face off against Immersion in tonight's final battle. Now the pressure is on for Immersion Remix. They need to win this fight, otherwise they will not progress to the final. They will be eliminated on points. Let's see if they can do it.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, begin.
Out of the starting traps first was Alpha. Immersion riding up the flipper. That's not a good sign. They go flying. Staying on their wheels though, now flipped over, but the Uno reverse. Can Immersion push Alpha in the pit? No, getting away. Great driving there from Madison. It wasn't to start with, but they did get away in the end in a flurry of flips, both self-righting and not. Immersion was flung across the arena, now trying to get a push on Alpha, but Alpha finding the side. Once again, now flipping Immersion over and over again. Alpha certainly on top in this battle, unless of course you're counting the number of times that Immersion has driven up on top of the flipper. They have been flipped and flung all around the arena. Madison is having her wicked way, and she has won it. A textbook flipper performance there from Alpha sends her to the top of the table, but it could have been curtains early doors. The self-righting quickly from Michael Clement's Immersion Remix meant that she was very close to going into the pit, and I think she took that personally. Alpha then spent the rest of the fight flinging Immersion Remix all around the arena. A real tour of the box. Immersion went this way, that way, and yonder, down and out of the arena. Here's the final leaderboard. Alpha goes perfect in the heat, 20 points. They move on to the finals, as does Megalodon, who had that round out. Immersion Remix finish on 12. Vector on 8, finish in 4th. Snow Goose with 7 points, they finish in 5th. It's been a fun first night of combat. 3 more heats to go. We shall see you for them very soon. Until then, I've been your host, Jevon Woodrow. Good night.